Bright Duty. Every student matters.
Hello, students. Today we all are going to start the chapter from Geography Human Resources. As you all know, the population of a country or of any other area is the total number of people who live in it. And the population of any country in the driving force in its progress. And also the people who are the most important and significant resources. And the people who make life increasingly comfortable are human resources. And natural resources of a country are indeed the country's assets, but it is the human intelligence and the skills that make those resources valuable and usable. And children, the natural resources of a country would remain untapped unless the people have the knowledge about their utility and ways of exploiting and developing them. So, the greatest resources are the human resources. Greater the number of people, greater is the utilization of natural resources. However, economic efficiency and productivity of a population to play a significant role. Hope you must have understood what the human resources are. Now let's see what is a human resource. People are a nation's greatest resource because as I have told you that people are the those who make the life comfortable and use all the natural resources in a usable way. Nature's bounty only because people significant only when people find it useful. It is with their demands and abilities that turn them into resources. So the human resource is the ultimate resource. Healthy, educated, motivated people develop resources as per their requirements. Now you could see this is the position of the world in terms of dollars. That means the financial condition. This is according to the per capita income. And this is world's population graph. This is from 1850 to 200. That means 2000. Now, from 1850, it is in the terms of billions. 1 billion in 1850 and in 2000 it is 6 billions. And do you know the government of India has a Ministry of Human Resource Development, which do we call HRD. And the ministry was created in 1985 with an aim to improve the people's skills. The just shows how important people are as a resource of the country. So their main is to find out how the people are useful. Human resources, like other resources, are not equally distributed over the world. As you know, like each geographical condition is not suitable for everyone. So according to the geographical condition, people are distributed all over the world, but not in an equal way. They differ in their educational levels, age and sex, and their numbers and characteristics also keep changing. Now, the population change. What exactly the population change is? It refers to change in the number of people during a specific time. You know what is that? Why it happens? Normally, what are the reasons that population has increased manifold? Why so? Why it is like that? Why people change? Why this population changes are there? There are manifold due to various reasons. The change of birth rate and the death rate. Major reasons for the increase in the birth rate are better food supplies, better medical facilities. Now see what happens, like if we talk about the natural growth, it is birth rate minus death rate. Now what happens that growth rate of a state is also affected by the migration of people in or out of the state. Interstate migrations occurs due to marriages, employment, etc. So the rate of growth of population is also dependent, it also gets affected on the migration. an increase in standard of living, political, social, racial, religious factors, better health facilities. They also influence the changes in the population. Now, births are usually measured using the birth rate. That means the number of live births per thousand people. And deaths are usually measured using the death rate, the number of deaths per thousand people. Now, the total births that take place during a decade increase the total population, and on the other hand, the total deaths during the decade decrease the total population, and so the net effect on the population during a decade would be difference between the total birth. Decade means 10 years. And the total deaths during the decade, this is called natural growth. If we talk about natural growth, right? What is natural growth? It is number of people in a state upon area of the state, right? Now, birth and death rates are natural causes of population change. The difference between the birth rate and death rate of a country is called natural growth rate, which I have told you, just now I have told you. So, the population increase in the world due to the rapid increase in the natural. Now, what is migration? Anyone knows what is migration? Migration is the movement of people in and out of an area. That means when people move from one place to another. Migration is another way by which population size changes. People may move within or between the countries. Immigrants are people who leave the country, right? And immigrants, people who arrive in a country. So migration means in and out of an area. Now, patterns of population change. Rates of population growth vary across the world, although the world's total population is rising rapidly. Not all countries are experiencing this growth. Some countries like Kenya have high population growth rates. They had both high birth rates and death rates. With improving healthcare, death rates have fallen, but birth rates still remain high, leading to high growth rates. Now, the population composition. What is the population composition? To understand the role of people as a resource, we need to know about their qualities. People vary greatly in their age, sex, and literacy level, and health conditions, occupations, income level. This you could see: age, sex, literacy level, health, occupation, income level. So these things are the composition of the population. Let's talk about age. Age means like the population of a country is composed of people belonging to varied age groups. The children below 14 years, the old people above 60 years are called the dependents, right? And they are dependent on the people in the working age group. The ratio of dependents to the people in the working age group is called the dependency ratio, right? So age gives us dependency ratio. Those who are below 14 and above 60, they are called dependents, right? So these people are called dependents. Now, in India, the dependency ratio is very high. Why? Because 49% of children and 6 to 7% of older people are dependent on working population. Now, if I talk about the sex composition, the classification of the total population ratio, males and females. Now, the sex ratio is males, females, and other genders as well. This makes the composition of population, and it is stated in the form of ratio called the sex ratio. It is defined as the total number of females per thousand males to the population. The sex ratio is adverse to women in India, and you can get the graphs for this in your Google as well. Now, next is your literacy rate. That means how many people are literate. That means who can see, there is a difference between literate and educated. Literate people can read and write. So this is literacy level. That how many people are able to read and write. So a literate person is who can read and write with understanding any language. So the percentage of literates in, like if I talk about from 1901 to 2011, in 1901 the combined ratio of males and females of literate people were 5.3%. But last in 2011 when it was done, like 10 years back, it happens after every 1 decade. So it was 74.1. So it's a large difference between 1901 and 74.1. So it's still encouraging to see the improvement in overall percentage in the figures after the independence. And in India, the literacy rate is much higher, right? And if we talk about rural areas, even the rural areas are also doing this thing, that now the people are encouraging the literacy rate there also. Now, next comes the health conditions. Now, what are the health conditions? If we talk about the health conditions of a country, that means what kind of health facilities are provided by the government, how the people are carrying their health, whether they are healthy or they are infected or they are diseased. So the population composition depends upon the health conditions also. Next is your occupation. What is occupation? Occupation means how the people are working, like what is the way of livelihood of the population of the country. And next is your income level. That means what is the annual income of the population composition, that how many people are one, for example, if we take a person earns 3,000 per month, so that means in 12 months he is going to earn 36,000. So are the people, those who are carrying the same income, are more in number or less in number? So this is called the income level as well. Once again, I'm telling you, population composition refers to the structure of population, and this composition helps us to know how many are males and females, which age group they belong to, how educated they are, what type of occupations they're employed in, and what their income level and health conditions are. And an interesting way of studying the population composition of a country is by looking at the population pyramid, also called as age-sex pyramid. Now, what is a population pyramid shows? A population pyramid shows the total population divided into various age groups, that is 5 to 9, 10 to 14, and the percentage of the total population subdivided into males and females in each of these groups. How many dependents are there in the country? There are two groups of dependents, young dependents and elderly dependents. Now, skilled, spirited, hopeful young people endowed with a positive outlook are the future of any nation. Obviously, when people are skilled, they are educated, they are hopeful, they are energetic, they are an asset. If we say they are an asset to the nation. And we in India are fortunate to have such a resource. They must be educated, provided skills and opportunities to become able and productive. This is the population pyramid of India, you could see. Male, females, and these are in millions. This is of China, the first densely populated country. Now, the patterns of population change. Why the population changes? Rates of population growth vary across the world, although the world's total population is rising rapidly. Not all countries are experiencing this growth. India is one of them which is experiencing. Some countries like Kenya have high population growth rates. They have both high birth rates and death rates as well. Now, with improving healthcare, death rate have fallen, but birth rates still remaining high, leading to high growth rates. In other countries like United Kingdom, population growth is slowing because of both low death rates and the birth rates. This is differing rates of population growth all over the world. You could see like blue is very high. You could see I'm highlighting it. Then next peach color is high 2.29%, then moderate, low and 0 to decrease. Now what does it all mean? It all means it is people with their skills and abilities that turn them into resource. So human resource is ultimate resource. Healthy, educated and motivated people develop resources, and what we could say is as per the requirement of the country. So humans are very important. We should all take it to the positive way so that humans could be used as the asset. And one more thing, like development of human resources is also there. So human resources can be asset instead of burden only. When they are able to develop qualitatively, the quality of people refers to their cultural values, political system, scientific and technology capabilities, and the innovativeness. They are willing to make changes. So HRD aims in India providing a better standard of living and quality of life and to the people, and this can be achieved by providing educate health and education to human resource in India. And it is essential to bring out the hidden potential of each and every human being when he or she is a child. And healthcare includes medical benefits as well as environmental sanitation that are necessary for the general welfare. Only by developing our human resources can we truly develop. It is only when the people learn to derive joy from utilizing their total potentialities that develop can occur. Human resources have a great significance in a country's economic development. Why? Because it provides those resources which are very well planned and fully utilized to contribute to the production of national wealth.